everyone, and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I didn't do a Friday Reads video for you guys, so I thought I'd hit you up with this weird Saturday weekend words reads thing. Let's get started. Okay, so basically I didn't give you guys a Friday Reads video yesterday for two reasons. Number one is I haven't really been doing them lately with school and not having internet at the house right now and all that jazz. I kind of fell out of the habit, so I didn't even think about it until pretty late in the day. And then when I did think about it, I thought, I gave them a video the other day about the books I'm reading for the end of October, so they already know what I'm going to be reading this weekend. And then I got up this morning and went, you know what? They may already know what I'm going to be reading this weekend, but they don't know how far I am. So this is basically a weekend words reading update to tell you how far I've gotten or not gotten in the books I talked to you about the other day. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one I want to talk about is The Wizard's Dilemma by Diane Duane. I'm on page 245 out of 403 pages. So I've got about 155-ish pages left to go. This book is kind of a slow burn. It's very suspenseful, and there's a lot of interesting kind of scientific discussion in it, which is honestly something that I love about all of the books that I've read in this series. They're all kind of slow. There's action, but there's a lot of discussion about right and wrong and how things happen and how things work, which I absolutely love because it's well written enough that you feel like you're flying through those discussions and you're learning something about science even when you're talking about wizarding. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense if you haven't read it. So if you haven't read it, definitely start reading the Young Wizard series. The first book is So You Want to Be a Wizard, and you need to go grab that pretty quickly. But even for a series that I know is written with a more slow burn kind of writing style, this book is a little bit slower than the rest. And that's fine because the subject matter is really heavy and dense, and the slower writing style definitely helps you digest that. And there are some bits of humor and some other parts that are thrown in that kind of speed it up a little bit. I'm hoping to complete this one tonight. If I just sit down and read it, I should probably fly through the last 150 pages and be able to give you guys a full-on review. But so far, this is a 4 to 5 star read, just like all the other ones. I love this series, and I am so glad that I started rereading them and discovered the rest of the books. So I love this book, and I'm going to keep reading that book. Let's move on. The next one is George R. R. Martin, A Clash of Kings. Now, what I've been doing with this is reading a chapter or two at a time and then putting it down and reading a different book or a large chunk out of a different book because there's so much going on in this that I can't read too much of it at one time before I feel bogged down. So I've only read a couple more chapters. I'm on page 354, so like 20 more pages. It's probably only one chapter, honestly. I'm hoping to get to page 400 by tomorrow night because today is Sunday. No, today is Saturday. Tomorrow night would be Sunday. And I'm hoping to hit at least page 400 by Sunday night. I am loving it, though. I'm also still watching Game of Thrones Season 2. I've got like 2 or 3 episodes left in Season 2, and it is so mind-blowingly different and yet the same. It's driving me crazy, but is completely worth it. All right. Next, we've got The Other Daughter by Lisa Gardner. This is another one that is kind of a slow burn thriller, and the way it's written is bogging me down, but I'm on page 96 out of 306. So I have a couple of hundred pages left to go. I'm almost a third of the way through, hoping to be able to finish this within the next couple of days. I am enjoying the story. It's just one of those books that is something I don't typically read, so the writing style is throwing me off a little bit. But it is suspenseful and interesting, and we haven't even got to any major action points yet. So it is keeping me interested, and I want to know what happens next. And there is a little bit of a romance that's being hinted at right now that I really hope happens, because I want to see the explosion that's going to happen if those two actually get together. So those are the 3 books I'm working my way through this weekend. But there is something else happening on Monday that is going to possibly allow me a little bit extra time to read, and that is the Western Oklahoma Choir Directors Association Honor Choir. 2 of the girls in my high school choir made it into the honor choirs. One of them is in the mixed choir, one of them is in the treble choir, which is like all female voices. And we have to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive across the state for a 3-hour drive, which, by the way, I'm originally from Texas, and when I say across the state, it's going to be a 3-hour drive. It blows my mind because it should be across the state. We should have left the day before because it'll be an 11-hour drive. Just side note there. Back on topic now. We're going to be driving 3 hours in one direction and spending the day with the girls in practices, and then having the 7 p.m. concert, which means that I will be in basically the hospitality rooms or hanging out around town, whatever, for 12 hours in between getting there and the concert and being ready to leave, which should give me time to read a lot more. Now, that being said, I do have to get the girls for lunch and supper. There will be times when I need to go check on them. There are a couple of directors' meetings, but out of those 12 hours, there's probably going to be 9 to 10 hours where I'm kind of left on my own. So during that time, I'm hopefully going to be able to write and read a little bit more. I'm probably going to save the Sisters Grimm and take it with me to read on Monday. This is a middle grade novel that will hopefully be pretty quick to read, and I can probably finish it in a couple of hours just sitting around in the hospitality room in between any conversations I might have with other directors and checking on my girls. I will probably also take The Other Daughter by Lisa Gardner. I'm not planning on being finished with it before Monday, so that might give me a chance to read a good chunk and possibly even finish it during the waiting time on Monday. I'm also taking my notebooks and hopefully going to be able to write a little bit, get the end of the short story I've been working on figured out, or maybe even Polonius Punk or The Way We Were. I don't know yet, but whatever, I'm going to take some notebooks and try to work on that as well. And you never know. I have several books that I just loaded onto my overdrive, so I might even be working on listening to some of those. Let me just give you their titles really quickly, and you can vote on which one you've read that you think I would like, or that you haven't read but you want to hear what I think about it. One of them is called The Rights and Wrongs by Joanna Pearson. I've got The Diviners by Libba Bray, The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and Betty White's If You Ask Me, and of course you won't. So if you have any vote on which one you think I should be reading first, then let me know that down below, and I will definitely check that one out while I'm driving to and from home, and just chilling out, waiting on everybody to be ready for me to take them to eat on Monday. So I think I've said on Monday about 18 times. If you haven't figured it out yet, this thing's happening on Monday. But that's all I've got for you, and I hope you are having a fabulous weekend. Leave your comments down below. I can't wait to chat with you. I'll see you again soon. Bye.